This might be foolish, I'm doing this in the round, meaning I'm turning around. I hope none of us throw up because of this. This is the new intro to my show. I'm so happy you're here. And welcome.
And welcome. Welcome to another rousing episode of Magic Mondays. I feel like I can hardly keep my eyes open. I'm sure that'll pass as we get into this. But I don't know if you can hear it in the background. There's hawks. I think they're mating. I saw one on top of the other on a pole the other day. So, anyway, that being said, welcome to anybody watching live or in the future. I'm glad you're here. Let's do it again. So I'm going to go ahead and smudge the space with some Palo Santo wood. And let's play my beautiful theme song, care of Artica Productions. Here we go.
You are magic, magic. We are magic. Magic Mondays with Coley.
Okay, so let me put this out. All right, so let me clean off my workspace. It means a lot to me. Okay, so the lovely Yvonne is here. She says, good morning, everyone. Hi, Yvonne. I was thinking of you the other day when I heard something about donkeys. And yes, that's right. Yvonne is involved with a donkey rescue. And I just think that's one of the greatest things I've ever heard. So anyway, yeah, what was I going to do? Okay, so I feel like I'm in a bit of a haze. Yeah, this past weekend, it's such a boring story, but ultimately, we had to do a bunch of stuff regarding taxes, and we had to QuickBooks or Quicken or whatever the hell we were using. We switched to another thing, and it's been this learning curve, which is good overall, but so much of the weekend was absorbed with that. So I have absolutely nothing written down. But a fun thing, we'll get to that in a second. Coop has created some stuff, possibly for future t-shirts, or we'll see. And he has been on a roll, and I have a few of those to share with you. They're so much fun. Anyway, and just so you know, Coop says, good morning, people. Good morning to you, Coop. We'll see you in a few. So let's go ahead and, Shannon's here too. Hi, Shannon, Dr. Shannon. So let's go ahead and play a couple theme songs, of course. So, Yvonne, here you go.
Yvonne is in the house. Check her out.
And Shannon.
Shannon is here. Hey, Dr. Shannon.
Hey. Okay. I've said this before, but sometimes I think, maybe I should change the theme songs, or how boring, the same theme songs over and over. But if you're anything like me, a certain amount of consistency is appreciated. Yeah. So, and Art and Eric are here. They say, good morning, friends. Good morning. Good afternoon to you, Shannon, since you are in a different time zone. Okay, so let's go ahead and play their theme song. Here we go.
Art and Erica and Art. Thank you for joining us, doing your part. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, all right. Yeah, so tax stuff this weekend. So we got a lot done, and we're better off for the next year, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so that's all good. But I feel like it kind of drained my energy a little bit. Oh yeah, we did a whole bunch of energy work too. That was part of it. because Dave had this weird thing going on with his back. Yeah, and we've both been listening to a book that I have found very helpful and combine his ideas. I think I mentioned it last week. Combine his ideas or theories with my energy work to clean it up. Ooh, super fun. And the book, in case you want to check it out, is called The Big Leap. I think it's a real recent book from probably like 20 years ago or something. And it's by Gay Hendricks, The Big Leap. And he talks about upper limiting. So he talks about like maybe you're cruising around and you're feeling pretty good, and then something happens and it knocks you out of your good feelings. And he calls that upper limiting. And the idea roughly is, when we're kids, we're just little sponges and absorbing all the shit around us, some good, some bad, some perhaps ideas that have come down through the generations of our fucked up families and never addressed, never reconsidered. And so that's part of our programming, and it creates these upper limits of what we think is possible for ourselves. And he posits, is that the right word? That we have the capacity to feel good all the time. And the idea is you get really good at noticing, like he said, even if you stub your toe, catch yourself within these upper limiting times. And, quite frankly, I'm not even quite sure I think you just kind of consider it. And I'm not sure what I've listened to it, I think almost twice all the way through, and I'm still not sure what he says to do about this. But for me, I'm like all over it. If I notice that, like, ooh, I always think about this a certain way, or I have this weird idea, or like I do anytime, like if I start to have a symptom, or things are going really weird, or you name it, I check it out. I sit down with my pendulum and I ask if there's something bubbling up to be addressed. And so I'll just read these just because that's the only thing I have written down, and my brain's a little tired. But these are his 4 big upper limiting, what he calls barriers that show up for most people. So one is just feeling fundamentally flawed, like you're just not right somehow. So maybe that's why you can't be more successful, or this or that, or find love, or whatever you're looking for. And the other one is, if you feel too good or get too successful, he calls it disloyalty and abandonment. So some kind of old programming, like, if I get famous, then these people are going to abandon me because they won't want to be near me anymore because I don't fit in with them anymore. The third one is feeling like a burden, or success is a burden. Like, oh, that's just too much. Like, that'll keep me away from success. And here's the one that turns out to be my big one, is fear of outshining others. And now it seems obvious, I guess, based on my upbringing. But it was news to me. And I came to this conclusion by using my pendulum and asking about it. And yeah, and one of the things that happens when you outshine others, or you're afraid of outshining others, is you turn down your enjoyment of good things that happen. Cue tears. This one hits home for me, and I'm not going to go into it because if any family members ever happen to watch my show, I don't want to out anybody. But pretty sure there's a main character in my story who I just didn't want to outshine. And ultimately, part of the fear of outshining others is, oh God, my brain just left. It's like you don't want to, you turn down your enjoyment because there's somebody else who needs it more. Excuse me, can you direct me to the vomitorium right now? Yeah. And I'm not saying this other person did anything on purpose, no, but it was kind of all about this person growing up. And well, I'll just say it. One of my weird things about growing up was Yeah, I was always good in school. Math took me a second in the second grade. Um, and then it ended up being kind of my best subject. But growing up, I was always, for as long as I can remember, I was considered to be a gifted child. and and I remember teachers would tell me like, "Oh, you did this so well." And I would think, "No, I didn't," because I would find fault in what I did, and then I would think they were stupid for giving me compliments and good grades. What the fuck? It wasn't until I was in chiropractic school at the age of 31 that and doing so well in school like, "Huh, maybe I am smart." Anyway, I would love to go more and more into it, but as I mentioned, I don't want to out anybody, but it opened up a whole new world for me of getting past some old shit. And I'm probably not doing a great job of it, but Dave and I have found a great deal of value in this. Like anytime you've got something big going on, like it really hits you, you might be upper limiting yourself. So it might be kind of an old self sabotage to stop you from growing and being more successful. That being said, yeah. So it is 11:11 on the West Coast, and we're going to get this picture I drew a few years ago, many years ago, to entertain us while we make our wishes. Here we go. Okay, so I don't know if I did too great of a job at describing this, but let's go a little bit further. So he talks about when so if something happens to me, I'll just tell you from my perspective. So something happens for me, and I realize, um, like I'm cruising along, feeling pretty good, and then I start feeling shitty, and my brain goes to like dark thoughts and take me down a shit spiral. Um, and I'm getting better at identifying, like, oh, okay, maybe am I upper limiting myself? So I get out my pendulum and I ask, this is an upper limiting issue, yeah. And then I see which barrier resonates. Usually it's the outshining one. And then you can go to what he calls the 3 Ps. So I ask, am I protecting myself from doing something I don't want to do? Which makes me think of years and years ago, a good friend of mine had a birthday party in a restaurant, and she works with groups a lot, but she's also very empathic and sensitive. So, whew, so she has to juggle a lot of energy. But anyway, she thought, all these people want to spend time with her. She set up this birthday party at a dessert restaurant, and I'm not great with groups sometimes, but we went, and a bunch of people showed up, and it was great. And she told me a few days later, a friend of hers said, I didn't really want to go to your party. I didn't want to deal with all the people. So I want to take you out and do this special thing. Okay, well, my friend did not want to do that. That's why she threw the fucking party. But she agreed because, and she goes to meet this friend who she didn't really want to go in the first place. And she found herself in a car accident on the way there. And I remember talking to her about it. And I asked her, like, so maybe there's something to, I mean, I even realized this at the time. Like, you didn't even want to go there and you got in a car accident. That's kind of interesting. Um, anyway, so I would consider that would be a situation where, like, she created this thing to protect her from doing something she didn't want to do. Maybe that's a weird example. I don't know. I don't know. But that's what I think of. And the one that shows up for me, well, another one is punish. Like, you need to be punished because you've had too much of a good time or something. Um, yeah. And the one that really seems to get me the most is my upper limiting symptom or whatever's showing up for me. Is it preventing me from feeling something? And well, I wasn't going to go into this, but here we go. Yeah. So the first one that I found was I decided to play with the idea of like, oh, I've had this mid back thing. Like it doesn't usually hurt so much as it might as well because it's just so tremendously uncomfortable. And like, I remember being in my 20s, and I was so grateful when I worked for the welfare department. There was a brief time where I had my own office with a door and no window, which was kind of great because no one could see in. When I'd shut that door and lock it, I could lie on the floor on my back and get relief. Um, yeah, hadn't discovered chiropractic yet, but even chiropractic doesn't take care of it. This is like a core issue for me, apparently. So, since I read this book and I was playing with the idea, I'm like, I asked with my pendulum, am I upper limiting right now? Like feeling this tremendous, it's so tired, it just can't take anymore. Like, am I upper limiting? And it was a yes. And it was the outshining thing came up. Okay. And then it was preventing me from feeling something. So with my pendulum, I asked, okay, what I got was what it resonated as was, I believe it was repressed anger. Okay. And if you've read my book or if you ever talked to me, you know I love when old anger shows up, because if I don't know it's there, it's still leaching its shit out to me and affecting my life. So, so I'm very excited when I locate it. Yeah, and so I got, okay, so I have repressed energy of what resonates as repressed anger. Okay. And so I asked, when was this repressed anger put in place? I don't remember what showed up, but it was something either in the womb or very early childhood. And so I asked, especially since it showed up so early in my life, I'm thinking, how could it possibly have been generated by me? Like me holding on to fury as like a 1-year-old or in the womb. And so I asked, did this energy of repressed anger, like that I'm holding, is this from me? Nope. So it belonged to the person in question here. And once again, I'm still trying to protect this person. So anyway, I got that it belonged to this person. So it didn't originate in me, but me being a little empathic sponge took it on as my own because I always wanted to help this person feel better. Anywho, and I still want that person to feel better. Yeah. But it's not my job. I have to remind myself it is not my job. Still, 59 years old. Ugh. Still reminding myself it's not my job. Damn it. Can you relate? Anyway, and so it's like, oh wow, so I am holding this repressed anger of this person in my mid back. Okay. And then I connected a whole bunch of dots around that, but that's another story. But I'll just say what I found fascinating about that it being repressed anger with this person. This person had told me as an adult that, like, if they were so afraid, if they ever let their anger out, it would never stop. Like, we were talking, I think it was from a Designing Women episode where Mary Jo she was afraid she's going to get attacked, and they go to I can't even think, self-defense class. And my person and I were talking about this, and that person said, I don't think I could do that because I'm afraid that my anger would never stop. And here I am holding it. So I cleaned that up, and it was fascinating. For the next several days, I did not feel any discomfort in my mid back, which was amazing. In the last day or so, I have felt it a little bit, and I'm gonna probably, as soon as we hang up here, I'm gonna explore that some more. Um, anyway, and I can't really share the juicier insights, but trust me, they're pretty juicy, at least to me. Yeah, so it's all about awareness and cleaning up the shit that's bubbling up and giving it an exit strategy. And that's what I am working on teaching. Because seriously, if you could do what I do, um, sounds weird, I want everyone to be able to do what I do and have the awareness I have about when you clean up the energy that's lurking in the background, you have a way of detecting it and then a way of cleaning it up. Seriously, I'll just keep saying it. It's like cleaning off spots, like cleaning off gunk, energetic old shit that you're having to process your life through every fucking day, like cleaning off yet another portion of your windshield of perception. And then, yeah, that shit is still happening in the world, but it's not overwhelming you. It's not, yeah, it just, life just gets better. You're just gonna have to take my word for it and my tired brain. Okay, so that being said, check it out if you want. The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. And I actually want to get his next book, but I realize it's not read by the author, and now I'm kind of connected to the author's voice. So anyway, blah blah blah. Okay, well, thanks for listening. Okay, so I'm trying to decide. So Coop, I have a question for you before you're on camera. I pulled up, I downloaded a couple of your creations, which I'll describe in a moment. And I'm wondering, do you think you should be on camera as I show them and we can discuss? No? Okay. So, Coop has been talking for a while Coop and I have been talking for a while about making t-shirts perhaps. And he's the one that knows how to like do the computer stuff. And so he recently, I believe, took like a computer graphics course or something to create like posters, t-shirts, stuff like that, logos. And he has been on a roll, to say the least. So and so he suggested a while back, well, maybe we could take some of my sponsors and make them into t-shirts. And so I'm just going to start with one of the first ones he sent me, and because it's my favorite sponsor. Here it is. Chris Rock's Paper Scissors. So, and of course, so I saw this when I was on the phone with a friend, and I saw that I had a text come in, and I checked it because I always want to make sure it's not Dave needing something at work. Anyway, and I saw this, and well, it's not like I peed myself almost, but I got pretty fucking excited. And of course, in the background, I'm thinking, oh, if this was actually on a t-shirt, would Chris Rock get word and get upset? I mean, the chances seem really slim, but yeah, that is my favorite. And here's a really nice one. Like, I might want to make this for a poster that I sell on my website or something. Yeah, the universe always has your back. I think that's lovely. And I only downloaded a couple of them. Here's another one, a sponsor called For the Love of God, with Jesus with a big old bowl of pho. Um, and here's another one. Put your mind to it. Quiet cleaning services. That's pretty great. So thank you, Coop, for oops. So thank you, Coop, for these magnificent creations, and I look forward to seeing where they go. Okay, so that being said, before we bring Coop on, let's just we're going to do a few things. We're going to look at my credo and the Guest House, poem by Rumi. So first of all, just a reminder, I really believe that this is one of the biggest gifts you can give to yourself. Even just if you can't buy into it completely, try it on for a while. Try it on like legit. Try it on and see what might open up for you. So the universe is in a conspiracy for our happiness. The universe always has our backs. Therefore, if it's happening to us, it's happening for us. So what is the universe bringing to our attention for our highest growth, healing, and happiness? And when you consider adopting this idea, well, Einstein suggests it, by the way, when you adopt this idea, you can go from massive like upset, like can't see straight, triggered. And if you train yourself to go there, it automatically kind of helps you shift into like a possible different trajectory regarding that upset energy. Um, yeah. And granted, you do need it does require some kind of tools. I use my energy work to get to the heart of it, and that's not the only way. But man, if you can adopt this, if you can adopt this idea and have a way of getting to the heart of what is being triggered for you and cleaning up that trigger, seriously, your whole fucking life will change. Like, I know people who are terrified right now and just beside themselves with the injustice. And trust me, injustice is a big one for me. I'm an Aquarian. So, injustice, yeah. And I'm just going to keep saying it. There's a distinction to be made between I don't like what I'm seeing, the orange one doing, or his little friend. I don't like, of course, I don't like those things. Ridiculous. They're horrible. But I pay most attention, or how I stay in my power is I decide or recognize the difference between, oh, I don't like that thing. I hope that changes, or I'm going to do what I can to change that. And the other side of that is I'm so triggered, I'm just walking around like it's engulfing my life. And when it's engulfing your whole life, that's a clue. Like when you're not seeing the beauty of the world and the things that usually make you laugh and give you joy, like if all you're thinking is like, oh, this thing, and you're just like you just feel so into it, that's a clue you're being triggered. And that's what you need to clean up. So there's a big distinction there. And trust me, for anybody who thinks that, oh, Colleen, how can you be okay with, what's happening? Well, I'm not okay with it, but I clean up what shows up for me. And oh my gosh, imagine if everyone cleaned up their own personal shit that's bubbling up and getting triggered. What might change? Yeah. So anyway, Colleen, how do you really feel? Okay. So anyway, let's go ahead and go to the guest house. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes because each has been sent as a guide from above. So, Rumi understands. Okay, or he did, way back in the days of yore. Okay, so that being said, was there anything else I was going to show here? Nah, I don't think so. Let's go ahead and bring Coop on and get to some magic.
Ooh, we're catching up with Coop. We're catching up with Coop. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Hello. Hello.
Anyway, that's Seinfeld if you don't know.
Um,
Anyway, so how's it going?
yeah, no, except for just this existential. Oh, there we go. Weird. Yeah, no. Other than the existential dread, can you still hear me? I keep like buffering on my end.
Yeah,
My video, is it looking okay to you?
your video is kind of weird, and you're cutting out audibly as well at times. So anyway, so
Weird. Now you were just
existential.
buffering. Is it me or is it you?
I don't know. I think I don't know. How would I know? How would we know? Anyway,
Your audio is cutting in and out. I don't know if it's me or you, but let me close the windows here. So yeah, just because again, I was an international relations major in college. I specialized in foreign policy, so I'm just the damage that he's doing. I mean, aside from just all the domestic stuff, and I mean, so yeah, I'm just really worried about he's making a new world war much more likely. He's disregarding everything we learned from World War II and World War One. It's just like let's go back to the mid 1930s because it was such a great time.
History's been repeating itself forever, right?
Pardon me?
Not to make light of it. I'm not making light of it, but I'm gonna allow you to talk about this for just a few more minutes to get it out. But I don't want to.
I'm done. There's not really much more to say.
I mean, what do you need to say? No. We're all here. We're all feeling.
I'm personally doing pretty good. I mean, good. Yeah, I have to get my tax shit together, so I'm not looking forward to that. But I mean, otherwise, yeah, it's a beautiful day outside and money in the bank, and yeah. So I mean,
yeah, you've been doing a lot of creation.
Yeah, no, that's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed that, and I like to we can maybe open up the crowdsourcing. If anyone else has any t-shirt ideas that they have just had, not knowing what to do with, not being able to sit down and incarnate it. Bring it next week, and maybe put it up in the suggestions. And if you have any visuals that go along with it, yeah, because that's part of my just some of the associations that this person I came up with for some of your sponsors. I bet other people have even better ideas. So I don't know. Wait.
Are you even daring to suggest that anybody could have any better ideas for fake sponsors than me? How dare you?
Maybe we can show more of the sponsor ideas, but people that have other images or other associations they make with those words that didn't occur to me.
Yeah, and you and I can talk about that. I was thinking maybe for some of them have a little bit more of a description. Like there's the name of the
you need more of a tagline, like quiet cleaning services.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking for something. Anyway, okay. So, well, thanks for doing that. I think it's super fun.
I recently got a pocket watch. I've always wanted a pocket watch.
Oh wow!
So I got a pocket watch, and now I know I need a waistcoat with a pocket so I can put it attached to the chain, and because really I can't carry this around every day like this. But yeah, no, so that's kind of exciting. I got a pocket watch.
Makes a great weapon too, if necessary.
I can entice somebody.
Oh my God! Look at how versatile it is. Also makes great fries. So, yay, pocket watch. Well,
but I have to wind it every day.
Oh wow! Yeah, I remember having watches to wind. Wow, that dates us a little bit, huh? So how do you feel about just let's go ahead and bring up a sponsor real quick. 1 second. Okay. All right. I just put one up here, I think. Well, okay. I'm going to poof myself right now. That's one that I was going to bring up, burden of poof. But did you fix the rabbit's eyes with the little X's?
I have not. I'm not yet. No.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah. Coop's been hard at work with burden of poof. Support group for frustrated magicians. Anyway, so this week's sponsor is Jersey Shorts. What you frickin' wear in the tennis court? Anyway, that's what they gave me. I can't really take responsibility for that because it's not cheap to keep Coop. showing up on this show. Okay, so thanks for the sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, I feel like I don't have a lot of juice right now, so let's go ahead and get to some energy work. Um, yeah, I apologize for the lack of juice. And like a silly person, I made coffee right before the show, so it's just sitting over there getting cold. Why do I do that? Like, I probably should have drank some more coffee first, but anyway. All right. So that being said, somebody make me stop. Okay, so we're gonna do some energy work. And if anybody has something in particular going on that if you're watching live that you want me to check in on, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just do whatever shows up. So, all right. So my name is Colleen. Yes. My name is Bob. No. Okay. It's safe and appropriate to do some energy work for the group today. Yep. Okay. We're going to start with a grounding. Yeah. So I'm going to ground through my heart. You pick a chakra, any chakra. Here we go. Heart chakra is green. Go. So we're expanding our heart chakra energies out, 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 out to the far reaches of the universe. And we're opening up our crown chakras and allowing in the cosmic energy to swirl through, go down to Gaia, pick up some of her energy and bring it back to us, forming an interface between heaven and earth through us. So that being said, are there any dead people or anybody watching live or in the future? Yep. Okay. So let's do this. So putting out a call for any dead people watching live or in the future. This is your chance to move on to the light. This is your exit strategy. So do we have any takers? We do. Would Jesus be the best escort? Yep. Jesus, are you ready? Yep. Give us a moment. Say goodbye to your little friends. I wonder, suddenly it went through my head, like when I was a little kid, if you would have told me that this was what I would be doing someday, or that I would have been a doctor in the process, what? I'm not sure I would have believed me, but I think I'd be more excited about the energy work than the doctor thing. Anywho, okay, so that being said, have we successfully taken these dead people to the light? Thanks, Jesus. That's a yes. Okay, so is there something energetic to do for the group today? Watching live or in the future? Yes, this is on my master menu. Yes, this is in column A. Column B, yes. In an odd numbered row, yes. In row 1, 3, 5, 5, 7, 7. Okay, that takes me to my category, which has taken on a life of its own. This is what it says right now: curse, spell, voodoo, hex, toxic programming, disentangling, unsatisfactory spiritual awareness. My guides give me these words. Yeah, so let's see what it is for the group today. So this is good old curse energy. No. A spell. No. A hex. No. Voodoo. No. Oh, voodoo. Okay. Yeah, in all my years of doing this, I feel like voodoo has shown up maybe once or twice, very seldom. I guess enough to show up on my master menu. But anywho, it doesn't show up often. So voodoo. Okay. Is there something we can do to clean up what resonates as voodoo for the group? Yes. This is on my master menu. This is in column A in an odd numbered row. No, in row 2. Okay. So there's some kind of trapped negative emotional energy that's contributing to what resonates as voodoo. So, all right. So this trapped emotional energy that's part of this voodoo, this is in column A, yes. In an odd numbered row, yes. In row 1, yes. In row 3, no. Okay. Anger, my good friend, anger. Okay. I can't believe that I actually had a time in my life that I could not think of anything I was angry at. Until I got so massively triggered, read all about it in my book, Anger in My Kidneys. Like, seriously, I thought I had the beginnings of a UTI. Turns out I had a bunch of fucking anger in my kidneys. Anywho, did not have an infection. Okay, so there's energy of anger that's somehow tied to what resonates as voodoo for the group. So let's see what we need to know about this. Okay, this anger is ready to be cleared. Okay, it is. Okay, this is safe and appropriate from the light. Are we ready? Okay, so whoever needs this is for you. We're sending all of this energy, this vibration, this frequency of anger, wherever you're holding it, we're sending it to the light. And in its place, we're filling us all up with energy of forgiveness, relief, peace, calm, and serenity. Serenity now! And a heaping, helping of love. Okay, so have we successfully cleared this resonance of anger associated with this, what resonates as voodoo for the group? Yep. Okay, so are we ready to just release this energy of voodoo now? Yep. Do I need any more conscious information about this? Nope. It's safe and appropriate from the light? Okay. Say goodbye to your voodoo energy. Here we go. Give me a moment. Okay. I'm glad I'm not a heroin addict for many reasons, but right then I could have nodded off. Okay, so I know that's a strange thing to say. I'm really happy to not be a heroin addict. I'll never forget when I watched a 2020 episode when I was a kid in the rumpus room, aka formerly our garage, and I was making some Christmas ornaments. They were styrofoam with like string around them, and I was carefully placing pins through sequins to create 4 ornaments that spelled out. Might see where this is going: John, Paul, George, and that's right, Ringo. But during this 2020 episode, they were talking about different rock stars who were on the Yam Yam, and that included like Steely Dan.
Oh,
And I'll never forget. I'll never forget at some point. I guess it must have been probably like early junior. When I was so I still love the Beatles, but so like it was all about the Beatles, and asked my mom sheepishly, "Did the Beatles do drugs?" And she said yes. And I was like, "Oh no," because man, was I told by the teachers, "You do drugs, your whole fucking life is over." And I guess that worked to my advantage. So I was scared of drugs until it wasn't. Well, I'm still scared of most of them, but we all know marijuana is my friend. Okay, so that being said, where the fuck am I? I don't even know. Voodoo. Oh, yeah. So have we successfully lifted this voodoo off of whoever is watching? Get a yes. And it was a really neat visual that if I could explain it, I would, but I wouldn't do it justice. So that being said, so we're complete with this voodoo. All right. So, is there anything else to address for the group today, energetically? Yes. This is on my master menu. Yeah. In column A. Uh-huh. In an odd numbered row. Yeah. In row 2. 4. 4. Okay, that takes me to a deep, dark heart. Okay, so I see these as like little energy tumors trying to stay in the background, although what they're filled up with is leaching out into our energy fields on a daily basis. So, so it's safe and appropriate to work on a deep, dark part for the group. Yep. Okay. Ordinarily, I would determine when it was created and a bunch of other stuff, but since we're not personalizing this too much, we're going to leave it at that. So, so there's something we can do to shine light on this deep dark part for anybody watching live or in the future. Yes. Okay, this is on my master menu. This is in column A, in an odd numbered row. No, in row 2. Okay, another trapped emotion. A plain old trapped emotion. So this is in column A, in an odd numbered row. In row 1, 3, 5. Fear. Okay, fear. So, anything else we need to understand about this fear in order to, or anything to understand about this fear in order to clear it for the group? No, it's safe and appropriate from the light to go ahead and clean this up. Yeah. Okay, so we're sending all of that energy, that vibration of fear that we're holding, wherever we're holding that, we're sending it all to the light. And filling ourselves up with energy of, I like to start with forgiveness. Energy of peace, calm, serenity, an energy of knowing that if it's showing up for us, if it's showing up for us, it's showing up. If it's happening to us, it's happening for us. My brain's so tired. I'm not kidding. In case that's not obvious. Oh, how about energy of relief? How about some humor? And keeping helping of love. Okay, so have we successfully cleared this resonance of fear from this deep dark part? Okay, so anything else in this deep dark part to clean up for the group? Yes, this is on my master menu. This is in column A in an odd numbered row. In row 1, yes. In row 3, no. Okay, that takes us to a portal, a negative portal. This is a dimensional spiral portal. Oh, okay. So dimensional spiral portals are handled by my team of 4, which is Archangel Michael, Merlin, Ganesh, and who I still playfully call Homeopatrick, even though he now comes from the light. Okay. So, are you still having video audio problems, Coop? I just saw your message.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's me,
You look worried.
on my end or anyone else. So like, yeah, and well, the video is really, it like stops, and the audio gets really choppy, and then the video all catches up. So I'm just wondering if it's just me.
It is just you, and
Sounds
you're
like it.
Well, my signal is strong for what it's worth. It's not always. But
yeah,
anyway.
I don't know what's different. I've never had this particular set of issues before. So anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still following along.
Okay, so dimensional spiral portal. So this is in the black spell portal family. This is in the special category. Others, no. Dismantling programming, no. Occult and wizardry, no. Physical hidden Merkaba or Merkaba. All right, this is column A, no. Column B, yes. So the name of this portal is Density Vortex. So it's safe and appropriate from the light to dimensionally spiral this out of anybody's experience who's watching live or in the future who needs it. Yes. Team of 4, are you ready? Yes. Okay, so give us a moment. Okay, so Team of 4, have we successfully dimensionally spiraled this portal, this negative portal out of everyone's experience? Yes, thanks guys. Okay, so, and by the way, Yvonne responded, no issues here, or no issue here. Okay.
Lucky me. Actually, it's getting a little bit better now, so I don't know.
Yay, now that we're almost done. Good. So, all right. Okay, so is there anything else to do for the group today energetically? No. So we're going to leave it at that. I'm not going to ask again because as I keep, I'm about ready to nod off in a non-heroin way.
You want to force it anyway. Yeah, it is what it is.
That is a true story. It is what it is. So, well, we're going to cut this a little bit short. And I'm going to go, well, as soon as I'm awake enough, I'm going to learn more about making videos and make another video. I made one recently with a more like how you see YouTube videos with the bright colors and the pointing to this. So I made one of those, and it's gotten some views, probably more views than I would have gotten ordinarily. But I need to work on my headlines and etc. but I'm creating a series.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. But yeah, thumbnails and titles and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
There's a lot of details, but it's kind of interesting to do, and I just realized I just need to learn from each one and make them better. But I'm making a series called Second Act Magic, and my target market is women over 45, sensitive women over 45, who ultimately want to feel better doing energy work. Anywho, so Yvonne says, thank you both. Thank you, Yvonne, for showing up. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. And yeah, I hope everyone has a fabulous day and a fabulous week. And if you haven't done your taxes yet, well, I feel you. Like we're in the home stretch of hours, but man, this is taking a few weeks. Anywho,
I'm particularly disinclined to be funding the government right now.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Don't get me started. I have to focus on other things right now. But anywho, but sending everybody love, and if it's coming up for you, if it's happening to you, it's happening for you. So there's stuff to look at and clean up in yourself. So at least your outrage can have a better, more chance of doing some good rather than just feeding everyone fire.
Yeah. And I'm gonna pull out my copy of Walden Pond. About just like going off and going and just living, just bye. I'm out of here. Just go make my own house and just live off, on the fringe of.
Well, I remember you saying that. Like shortly after we graduated, or maybe not shortly after we graduated, but when we were.
I was going to go live in a shack in the woods and write my manifesto until I got married and had kids. So,
and what's the book called?
I'm back on my original trajectory now, I guess.
What was your book going to be called?
Oh, As I See It, something like that. I can't remember. I think that was it.
Yeah, I have it in my head. It's like what I think about everything, and you were just going to write what you think about like every subject you can think of.
Because I know a lot about a lot of different stuff. I mean, I was kind of an intellectual jack of trades. I just, history, science, philosophy, all kinds of, a lot, and I see a lot of patterns and stuff that is, interrelated. So I have some stuff to say. So.
Yes.
Anyway.
Well, I would read that book. So anyway, but honestly, you probably have to make it into an audiobook, but I would listen to that. Anyway, yeah. And just in case you missed it last time, my book is now on audible.com, so that's lovely. And at the very least, you can listen to the sample and hear the beautiful sound of "This is audio." Then my voice and the sample, and it's so funny. Well, it's not funny, but we've come this far. So Dave created a sample chapter or part of a chapter for any of the places we've put my audiobook, and everyone has accepted them except Audible.
Really?
And it's so lame because Audible, I have not found one Audible book yet that had a decent chunk of a chapter rather than this is Audible. And then, so for mine, it's like everyone else's. It's like From Sensitive to Badass, An Empath's Guide to a Magic-Filled Life, read by the author, me, Pauline McCann. Published by blah, 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 available, blah, blah, blah. And then author's note. And it's just like, that's not telling you a whole fuck of a lot. So anyway, well, I'm going to get off my soapbox now. And I'm going to go lie down. And, you don't need to know what I'm going to do. Oh my God, I'm so fucking tired. I hope everyone is more awake than I am today. Luckily, I work from home. So at least I can be tired here. Okay, Art and Erica say, thank you, and everyone have a beautiful day. And what they're thinking is, Colleen, can you shut the fuck up now so we can all go and, not be impolite and just leave early. Anyway, so you are welcome. I love you. I love you, Coop. I love you all. Thank you so much for showing up. Let me know if I can be of assistance. EnergyHealingWithColleen.com. Hope to see you next week. Bye.
You are magic, magic. We are magic. Magic Mondays with